Hello there, this is Sherman again, coming to you from Tempo Trend, the studios in lovely Victoria, British Columbia, BC, as we call it here. This is number 13, I believe, in our series. I'm not wearing a hat tonight, so sorry about the glare. I'm wearing this fancy shirt and I didn't want to upstage it. Yes, I am a Rolling Stones fan, but anyway, that's not the purpose. Anyway, so I hope you're enjoying these videos. I hope you are, we took a break last week, we didn't, due to illness, so I hope the continuity is still there for you. As I carry on, sometimes part of me says, did I already say that? I think I used one analogy twice, so there is some duplication, but hopefully you don't mind, and I hope you're still able to apply what we're trying to do. So to recap, we've covered the blues in G pretty thoroughly. I think we went in an overview, and then we did column by column, and broke it into three categories: the major pentatonic, minor pentatonic, and the Mixolydian mode. So if you have those three going steadily ahead and keep reviewing back, I think you're going to be fine with that. And we'll come back, we'll double back, and I want to put those into other keys. I'd like to really go into some of our favorite keys, which of course A and E being very important to blues fanatics. So you want to have all those things reviewed. You can start transposing them around, because I'm going to bug you about it when I get around to that, once we get this stuff established tonight. Tonight what I'd like to touch on again, the last one, it's foggy because I missed a week there, but we started the minor blues, and for that I used one form. There are many forms of this, Black Magic Woman, and a great song written by the late great Peter Green, popularized of course by Santana. The chords that we use for this to facilitate the kind of modes that we want to present are, and I'll work on a G minor again, is the Dorian Mode on the one chord, so over G, so column 1 if you recall. Many forms of those exist. I present them myself in different forms from time to time. That's the one that's on this sheet, so I'll just grab the sheet here, pardon me. These will be posted. We're starting to post these. This has a lot of information on it, okay, so if you can digest it, hopefully between me explaining it and you being able to see it, I just put everything on. The other one, I broke it up into two sheets, but this one I think you get my system now. So at the top we have one form of scale, which creates the Aeolian Mode. That's the one we use on the 4 chords. Now why didn't I put the 1 chord one at the top? I don't know. But I put the Dorian Mode in the second strip there. So all 5 forms. So you've got the Aeolian Mode for the 4 chords, Dorian Mode for the 1 chords, and there's always a 5 chord thing, isn't there? So the form of the song that I use a D7, and I know some people will hear it as D minor and so forth, but if you use a D7, you're able to use the harmonic minor scale, which I think is one of the most interesting of all the scales, major or minor. It creates sort of a Middle Eastern flavor, which I think you'll really enjoy when you get that into your playing. And I'll show you how to address that. And in doing that, I also featured the Arps on there, which I'm very fond of. You know, I love that chord of the moment stuff we talked about. So I do it, the star is the root, and the hollow ones, they look like an eyeball. If you play the star and just go up the line, I'll demonstrate this. Go up the line with the eyeballs, you'll get all your ARP for that. Very important on those guys. And then down below you can get the ARPs for the previous. So if that's not gotten you thoroughly confused, I'll begin now to present the columns. We'll go column by column. So 5 columns, you'll have the neck mapped out for this. This will give you coverage for a lot of tunes that you may have been struggling with just playing the simple minor pentatonic type of phrasing. So for example, I'm just going to play the I'll warm up just using minor pentatonic, okay? I'll just do my best. And I'll probably slip into a few things because that's my reflex, my training, but I'm just going to kind of keep it simple and play simple minor pentatonic, G minor pentatonic for this Black Magic Woman in G minor. But the chords are G minor 7, and then it goes to D7, and then back to G minor 7, and then C minor 7, and then G minor 7, D7, and G minor 7. And if you're not familiar with that song, I don't know where you've been living, but come out of your cave. It's everywhere. There are many versions exist. The one I'm using, of course, as I remind you, has a D7. So for that one, we're going to use the... Okay, but I'm not going to use that now. I'm going to show you what you can do with minor pentatonic. Then I'll go to the next dimension and show you what you can incorporate. And I'm not proposing you abandon the minor pentatonics. I'm proposing that you integrate this new science that I'm presenting to you in these lessons and have it collide with what you already do. And I think you're going to enjoy the results. It gives you so many more options, and well, we'll see how it goes. I'm not entirely warmed up here. I'll try to warm up while I'm demonstrating. So just here it goes. 2, 3, 4. But I'm warming up, okay? All right. So that's just strictly minor pentatonics, all the way across the neck. Just kind of going where the urge. And I'm trying to target notes a little bit, but you can't do as much with targeting if you're not considering the chord of the moment. So part of that chord of the moment stuff relies upon the caged chord system that we discussed with the minors, and I think last time I presented the minors across the neck. So you can find your G minor 7 here, you can find your G minor or just straight minor, you can always make them minors, so all the way across with the raunch, you know, on there. So as I'm doing them now, let's delineate what those scales are. So on the one chord, so on the sheet, that'll be the second column. That's the second strip. First column, using this middle finger as a root. That facilitates a reach behind. So you can get some really nice, nice sounding outside tones. This being a ninth, which you commonly hear up here. Jimi Hendrix would do that a lot. You've heard that note added, that's a ninth. That's a lower sounding ninth, which is really nice. So you see how I used a minor pentatonic move there? That's where you're starting to really expect some real fireworks to happen. So when those things collide. Now the next chord is not the 4 chord, it goes to the 5. So now we have a D7, I'll just use the closest one. So here's the scale presented on the chart. You have a stretch back. So don't move your hand back, stretch back. See how I did that? You feel it a little bit. So let the first finger accommodate that, okay? So that's a big jump there. Very snake charmer-ish, wouldn't you say? Okay, so here's the whole scale. Stretch back, come back in. Now the arp on that would be this. Okay, so you're covered for D7 pretty nicely. And the second column, which we'll do today, will shift up here to the 5th fret and carry on. So one more chord to deal with here, C minor 7. And here you've got a lovely natural minor G, natural minor scale, which creates a Mixolydian effect over the D minor, the C minor 7th. Sorry if I confused you with that one, I'll try to be more explicit. Let's just think of it as G minor Aeolian, so a natural minor which just sounds like this. See, we're not going to stretch out. Now you'll notice, if you can hear it against that, I could have put a loop on, I guess, for you so you could hear that. But whereas with the Dorian you went, you can hear the mystery in that. But when you go to C minor, you don't want to go, that creates a C7 chord. You don't want to, and you've got that kind of sound. You don't want that. Special effects maybe, but you know, horror flicks or something. But, so on the C minor, just playing that scale from the C root, that's the note. That's one of your target notes right there. And you're back home again. Okay, so I'm going to slow this down a little bit. I'll put it back, 80 is the usual speed. I'll slow it down to about 65 or something, 66. And I'm going to play it and I'll call out the scales I'm using, okay? I'm not going to play anything too fancy, so don't get hung up on lines and stuff, but get the texture. And if you can say to yourself, okay, I hear what he's getting at here, and I'm going to strive to include that, that aura that these scales present. That's what you're going for. So I'll call them on a zoom. Okay, Dorian mode. Harmonic minor. Dorian mode. Natural minor. Aeolian. Dorian mode. Harmonic. Dorian. Now I won't talk, I'll just play. Sorry if I got a little bit fancy there, but I wanted you to feel what that's like to be playing it, and I incorporated some characteristic rock bends in there, so as to keep the flavor. So when you've got the, I guess just got a tube screamer, a broken tube screamer here, to create a little bit of edge, a little bit of raunch on there, to fatten it up a little bit. And if you could hear that, if you could feel what I was going for there, as busy as I was trying to throw as many ideas as I could, thin it out a little bit, I think you could come up with a really nice style on that. So that's column 1, and I kind of laid out things last time. I'm going to present to you column 2. We can move things along here a little faster. And then you combine those two, you've got a nice block of info that you can incorporate. You can glue into some of your, plug this into some of your favorite tunes. So here's the next Dorian mode. And I don't start from all the low notes here. I'm just going to start from the root notes. So there's, on the chart, there's a star, and that denotes the root. So there's a G. So I'm going to start from here. There are other notes down here. You can play them. Let's focus on getting the flavor of this, though. We started from a G root here. Now we're starting here. So you can hear that if I play a G minor 7 here. So that'll cover you for that. The next scale in line, I'm going to take it right from the lowest note. It doesn't matter. You can start from the C. There's a C here. And I'm sorry, I got out of context there. I should have gone from the D7. Sorry, I'll backtrack. Long day. Here we go. So you see the stretches there, and I always mark the stretches in for you. Pinky stretch out. We had a first finger stretch back. Now we have a pinky stretch out. So first finger, middle, big stretch to pinky. So that's, you can start to hear the Mediterranean influence there pretty quickly. So. The C minor one. C minor up here would be a little bit hard to grab. That's a stretchy one. I don't even know if I want to show it to you. I want you to hurt your hand, but 5, 8, 6, 8. Bit of a stretch in there, not the best. They call those locked knuckle type fingerings. Okay, whereas before we had this nice one that everybody knows. So. But if you need one, there it is. And here's your C root. You can start from here to get the scale, but it's... Okay, so I'm going to run this one through and just kind of play simply at first, you know. And here, I'll cut it back to, what did I do, 66 before? Yeah, I think so. Here we go. So I'm going to call out the scales. Dorian. Harmonic minor. Dorian. Aeolian. Dorian. Harmonic. Dorian. Okay. So you obviously, you can hear that creates that same nice aura, and when it goes into the 7th chord, the 5/7 I should say, and you'll notice the little things that I say look like eyeballs on the chart, on this area here. Those are the chord tones. What we call the arp. They constitute the arp. You have the option there to bend each of those a half step, and they sound really Mediterranean. So if you want to get it out there, you could have that kind of thing. You'll see them everywhere. bend up or down, whatever you... So, let your imagination run wild. You can have a lot of fun with that. Okay, so that's the thing that I wanted to get established tonight, and I hope that's there for you. Now what I'd like to do is, we touched down on country rock a little bit. Take off the wrench here, and what I did was I showed you sort of how to put that to use over Allman Brothers tune, and we were in the key of C, so your major pentatonics are laid out a little differently. Most people, of course, still favor form 1, and why not? You know, all the essential tones are there. And for any of you guys that don't know the characteristic bends that will enhance that and thicken that out, I'm going to break stride here a little bit and show you some licks, some major pentatonic licks, and I will present the sheet. I'll show you what it looks like, and not surprisingly, it says, I don't know what happened to the bottom of that sheet, it got cut off. Major pentatonic licks, and there it is right there. You can see that. So they're all in the key of C. How about that? I put them all in there. So these are some of my favorites, and these are stepping stone licks. They're not crazy hard to do, but if you're not familiar with this kind of thing, then it's gonna help you. And every other one of these will probably affect you in a certain way. You'll say, oh, I need that one. I kind of know that already. Well, let's just see how it goes. So form 1 and 2 primarily. Maybe there's I don't know if there's any form 4 in there. So mainly in this form 1 and 2 block for major, C major, right? So, and then, okay, so if you're in that area, I'm just going to play them. I'll just play through, and you have the sheet. You can work them out. So you'll notice with this kind of style of playing, you want to blend notes a little bit more. I know you blues cats out there will want to go play staccato on that. When you're doing this style, you want to see if you can keep the note bent until it blends to the next note. So the characteristic bends are all here, and I hope you enjoy them. Some nice double stops. I think you'll enjoy too. So I'm just going to go through them. I'll have to divert my attention here, but you'll have the sheet, and if you can get it from just watching me, that's great too. I'll just play it slowly once. Number 1. Okay. Now you notice that I'm doing the little flat 5 thing in here. So flat 5s work in major pentatonic as well. So here we go. So here it is faster. Maybe I'll put on a country tone here. Number 2, slowly. Okay, a little faster. Okay, and the slides are denoted by SL with a circle, so you'll see that. Number 3, another slide. Now you'll notice under that 8th there's a hold sign. That means don't let go. Pre-bend this. Okay, that's some of the stuff that you love if you love this kind of playing. So as you're hitting the 8, you're pre-bending that. A little bit of a rope trick there. It's a little sleight of hand. So here it is again, slowly. Little trill here. Keep the 8, pre-bend. And then, and now I have MC5, that means a little middle bar of 5. And a double stop to end it off. So here we go. Put a little bit of whammy bar on it. What do you say? Number 4. I'm going to slide in with my 3rd finger. I'm going to cheat a little bit here. Don't use your 4th, because we're going to blend. So, and then I'm going to get back into position. There's that drop bend again, right? So, pre-bend, release. It's denoted by RE. So, a drop bend is a release. You're releasing from the higher note. So, the 9 is in parentheses. That's the sound going to a 7, the actual note. So here it is again, slowly. now slide out here, double flag there, so fast. So that's in form 4, isn't it? You're ending in form 4. So here it is. So, sorry. One more time. Okay. Number 5 goes up into form 2, but we're going to use what's called the cheater position here. Most of you guys have been bluesing around here. You'd never think to do that with your pinky and stay in position, but for those of you who are used to that, you're all ready to go. Just lay down what's called a 1/2 C8. So that means 8th fret, not necessarily all 3 strings, but like a half bar anyway. So we're going to do that and do a trill on that. So double 8s, trill to the 10. Okay, so if you're not used to that kind of thing, and then slide back, pull off, double stop, and then a nice little hammer from a flat 5. So you're getting a lot of texture in this one. Okay, number 6, our standard bend for the blues, 7 to sound like 9. But we're going to let it ring. You don't usually do that in the blues as much. What a bouquet of notes, eh? So, okay, and then we're going to do this bend, the 2nd string bend. So bend up and release. So far. And now I'm going to hammer 7 to 8. And now don't let go of that guy. There's a hold sign there. So don't touch it. Hear that beautiful little sound? That's one of those characteristic country steel bending. Okay, I'll do a couple more and we'll continue in the next lesson. I'll continue on with this, but I'll pace it out a little bit here. Number 7 on the sheet, hammer. So I hammer slide combo there, right? Trill when you get there. You can add a shake. So, and notice how when I leave that 8 down and then I add the blend, that gets very steely. Okay, so number 8, 2 hammers in a row. Notice the MC5 there, that means middle bar. So some middle strings there of 5th fret. Very Allman Brothers-ish. Now I'm going to reach over, 3rd finger, cheating a little bit. That really creates that sound. So 5, stretch to 8, don't let go of that 8. Grab the 4th finger, and then let them blend. What a nice sound, okay? And I'll do one more here and sign off for this lesson. This is number 9. Nothing new for a lot of you folks on this, but just the way it... Okay, so that's 9 very useful building block type licks that you can use in your Allman Brothers. Okay, so that's pretty well covers what I hope to get on the board tonight. We'll start with some licks. I'm going to add some more licks and we'll do more with the minor blues next time. So take care of yourself, stay well, see you soon.